Hey tutorial heads!
This is part 3 of my Mix It Up tutorial series with your lovely host, Bane. In this video, I'm going to go over how to create more complex commands through Mix It Up bot. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to JustAGuyCalledLuke on Twitch, who has a channel point redeem called Donuts that looks like this.
What do you know in part?
No one knew, no one would dare, so all you do keep some donuts.
And Luke wanted to know how to add some visuals to that redeem.
Oh yeah, Ben, you're a video person. Do you know what software I would need to use to like make a raining donut effect to put on here?
Well, Luke, I have good news. I did create that channel point redeem for you. Here's what it looks like. So stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to explain how to create that channel point redeem step by step. So in this video, I'm going to go all through how to create that channel point redeem and how we're going to use Mix It Up bot and OBS Studio to make something fancy. So I know how to create original videos and GIFs that I could use for myself, but that takes a whole lot more time. And luckily, there's already free resources that we can use. One specifically is YouTube. So to get the raining donuts effect, what I did was I simply went to YouTube, searched raining donuts green screen, and I found pretty much the exact effect that I'm looking for. It's a green screen video, which we can put into OBS, remove the green part, and turn it on and off using Mix It Up. One thing I should mention is that this is somewhat of a continuation from parts 1 and 2 of my tutorial series, because we're going to use some services that we connected in part 1, specifically the overlay and OBS Studio. If yours don't have check marks next to them, go check out part 1 and get those connected. But now we can go down to our Twitch channel point section and start creating. So just like I explained in part 2, to create a new channel point reward, you just simply click on the Create New Channel Point Reward button. Now this will prompt us to name a new channel point reward. We can name it Donuts and click OK. Now you should see that new channel point reward show up in our ungrouped section. Here it is. Click on the Edit Command button. Here we go. Now there's a few things that we want to have happen. We want our song to play and we want our donuts to rain. So we start by clicking on the action drop-down button, and earlier we were using chat message, but now we're going to explore some other options. Whenever you want a song or sound effect to play, you can add it by scrolling down to sound and then clicking the plus sign. Here we go. It's going to ask us to pick a file to play, and I'm going to find the MP3 of the donut song that we have. There we go. It's as simple as that. Right now, when somebody redeems the donut channel point reward, it'll play this song. We can test it with the test button down here to see what it sounds like. That's a little loud, I think. We can crank this down a little bit and keep testing until we get to a spot where it sounds a bit better. Now, to go along with the sound, we want our donuts to rain. We already have our green screen donut video saved, but there's one thing about Mix It Up bot. It can't remove green screens from videos. It can only play videos. So with that in mind, I'm going to add our green screen donut video to OBS Studio and then create a source that Mix It Up bot can turn on and off for us. So I'll go to our sources menu here and click on the plus icon and add a new media source. I'll call this one Donut Rain and click OK. And then we can do the same thing here. I'll find my donut video, and there's a few options here that we want to change. We want it to loop. We want it to close when inactive. That's going to save us some processing power. Then we can click on OK, and here's our donut video. I want to make this bigger so that it fits my whole screen. And then I'm going to right click on the Donut Rain source and go to Filters. this is where I can add the green screen filter. So we go to Effect Filters, press the plus icon, and then click on Chroma Key. And it defaults to the green screen. So it's already removed all the green for us. We can click Close. And there we go. We have donuts falling from the sky. As you can tell, this video has its own audio track as it comes with its own song, but we don't want to hear this song. I'll click the mute button here. That way it doesn't interrupt the music that plays on the channel point redeem. And then I'm just gonna hide the video so we can get that off the screen, and we'll go back to Mix It Up Bot. Now we're gonna go to the action drop down, and this time we'll use streaming software. Select it, hit the plus sign, and for the streaming software option here, we can leave it as default setting, or we can choose specifically OBS Studio. And then in the action scene, we're going to choose source visibility. So just like it sounds, it's going to affect the visibility of whatever source we choose. In this case, it's going to be Donut Rain. So it'll turn it on or off, whatever we choose. So to select the right source, I'm going to pick the scene name. Right now it's on main 2. And then source name is Donut Rain. Now we have a little toggle here that either tells the source to become visible or to become invisible. Right now it's turned off, but we want to switch that, turn it on. All right, now we can go ahead and test this again. I'm going to crank this volume down a little bit more just in case. Now, as you can tell, it doesn't turn the source off without some more work in our command here. So I'm going to manually hide the source. And then all I need to do is use this duplicate button to duplicate this streaming software action. I'll open it up, I'll scroll down, and then I'll hit invisible. Now, as you can see, as we add more actions, there's kind of an order of operations here. It works from the top down. So first it makes the sound, then it affects the source in our streaming software, turn it on, and then it does the same thing to turn it off. Another quick tip to help keep yourself organized is you can actually rename these specific actions. So I'm going to rename the top one Donuts On, and then the bottom one is going to be Donuts Off. There we go. Now it's going to play the sound, make the source visible, and then make the source invisible. Let's try that again and see what happens. Could you see what happened there? It's supposed to go sound, and then donuts on, and then donuts off, which it did, but there's no delay in between these, so it did all three instantaneously. So what we can do to add a delay is we can go back down to our action drop down and use the wait action. Choose wait, now hit the plus sign, it automatically puts it at the bottom. It allows us to put a specific delay in seconds. I know that the song that I selected is about 15 seconds long, so I can add an amount of 15 seconds for it to wait, but it's still gonna go from top to bottom, and I need to reorganize this a little bit. I'll do that by clicking on the up arrow to wedge the wait in between the donuts on and the donuts off. Now it'll play the sound, it'll turn donuts on, it'll wait 15 seconds, and then it'll turn donuts off. All right, let's try that again. 15 seconds was a little short, so let's try that again. Let's make it 18 seconds and see what happens. A little bit better. We can still keep tweaking this until we get it right. That's what's useful about the test command button, is that we can test it and run it and tweak it without saving it. There we go. That works pretty well. So we can click the save icon, and there we have it. Our donut command has donuts raining from the top to the bottom. As it is, you know, it's working out pretty well, but I feel like the donuts appearing and disappearing is a little unceremonious, so we can add a fade to that if we'd like. I'm going to go over to our donut rain source. I'll right click and then show transition. Right now it's on none. I'm going to click fade. And then hide transition, I'll click fade on that as well. And it should look a little bit better. Let's see what happens. I feel like the fade in is a little too short. So I'm going to go to slow transition and go down to the 300 milliseconds here and crank that up to 800. There we go. I did the same thing to the hide transition. I just increased the milliseconds at the bottom here so it fades out a little slowly. And we can still keep adding on to our donuts command. We open up the editor. Since we saved it, everything is how it should be. What I want to do is I want to have the command put in a chat message to say so-and-so made it rain donuts. I'm going to do that by clicking on the action drop down, going up to chat message. I'll hit the plus sign. I'm going to say $ user display name made it rain donuts. Then I want this to happen before the donuts start raining. So I'm going to click on the up arrow to move it up to the top and then close it. And then we'll test that command to see what it looks like. And you can tell that it also shouted out myself because of that automatic shout out that we set up last time. But there we have it. A donuts channel point redeem that plays a donut song and makes it rain donuts on our stream. I once again want to give a shout out to JustAGuyCalledLuke on Twitch to say thanks for requesting this tutorial. It helps me come up with more content to help out other streamers and help explain how Mixedup works. So if you're watching this and you have any ideas that you're not sure how to implement, let me know. I can make a specific tutorial video for you. Next, Crystal Geology asked how to create specific bit redeems so that when certain Twitch users cheer a certain amount of bits, specific things happen. I'm going to get into that in the next video, so stay tuned for that if you're looking for more ways to spice up your streams.